Police have arrested 3 men in connection with the deaths of a model and her friend last month.
Yeah, one man has also come forward saying one of the suspects, a Hollywood actor, confessed to him about what happened that night. KCAL 9's Jasmine Veal live in Olympic Boulevard in the Pico Robertson neighborhood with details now. Jasmine.
Well, Susie, this is the apartment right behind me. They're on the second floor where those two women had those fatal overdoses. And as you said, their bodies later dumped at 2 different hospitals. And tonight, police are concerned there could be even more women victims out there drugged by these men. Jan Sillier says it was love at first sight when he first met his wife, Christy Giles.
A fairy tale relationship from the beginning.
A fairy tale that turned into a nightmare a month ago. The LAPD says after a night out, the 24-year-old model and her friend, Hilda Marcela Cabrales Arzola, were given drugs by 3 men and suffered deadly overdoses while at this apartment on Olympic Boulevard in LA.
Christy and Hilda were convinced to go somewhere with these guys. We suspect that they were told that they were going to some after party.
Police arrested those 3 men in connection with their deaths. David Pierce is charged with manslaughter. Michael Ansbach and Brent Osborne are both charged as an accessory to manslaughter. And what's even more strange is David Murrieta Jr. and his wife, both actors, say Osborne, also an actor, confessed to them all about that night with the women while they were on a shoot together days later.
And he said, I had the craziest weekend of my life, and proceeds to just tell me hour by hour detailed account and timeline of exactly what happened from late Friday afternoon to about Saturday afternoon, where he begins to kind of boast and create an alibi in the process of how he went to sleep. He woke up, one of the girls didn't have a pulse.
Sillier says minutes after his wife arrived at this apartment around 5:30 a.m., the girls started texting each other about wanting to leave the Pico Robertson neighborhood.
So at 5:30, they tried to leave. They called an Uber and they never heard from again.
Police say the women's bodies were dumped later that evening outside 2 different hospitals by the men in a black Prius with no plates. Giles was already dead. Arzola died weeks later.
And once we started going through and talking to the detectives and stuff, things started falling into place.
It's a small sigh of relief, but I know that this is not a celebratory point. This is just the beginning of the battle.
Now, neighbors told me they've seen police being called to this apartment before. The DA gets the case tomorrow. Susie.
This is insane. This is crazy. And that's somebody's wife, man. That's somebody's wife. Police have made multiple arrests in connection with the deaths of 2 women whose lifeless bodies were dumped at hospitals around Los Angeles last month. KABC TV reports. Loved ones of the women, Christy Giles, 24, and Hilda Marcela Gabriela Arzola, 26, alleged that they were drugged without their consent after a night of partying. Security footage captured men in face masks leaving the bodies at the hospitals and driving away in the vehicle without license plates, according to the Daily Mail. Giles was a model and aspiring actress from Alabama, and Cabrales Arzola was an interior designer from Mexico, according to KABC TV. It remains unclear what exactly happened to the women, but Giles' husband, Jan, told the Daily Mail that security camera footage shows Giles and Gabriela Arzola leaving a party with the men in the early morning hours of November 13th. What was a married woman doing at this party? Why weren't you home with your husband? I'm just going to say it. Why couldn't the husband be with you? Why couldn't he be with you? Or maybe he had to work or something. Phone location data appears to place Giles at an apartment near Beverly Hills around 5:30 a.m. when she texts Gabriela Arzola, "Let's go," with an emoji of a shocked face. In a reply, Gabriela Arzola wrote, "Yes, I'll call an Uber." She indicated that our car was 10 minutes away, but the women never took it. A friend then texted Giles at 5:36 a.m. asking where she was, but read receipts showed that Giles did not read the text or other following it, according to the Daily Mail. About 12 hours later, security cameras recorded a black Toyota Prius without license plates at Southern California Hospital in Culver City, where men wearing hats and masks unloaded and abandoned Giles' body. 2 hours later, the men left Gabriela Alzola's body at Kaiser Permanente West, LA. Giles was pronounced dead a short time after being found. Gabriela Arzola was declared brain dead and was taken off life support on November 28th, one day before her 27th birthday, according to KABC TV. Heroin was found in Gabriela Arzola's system. KABC TV reports Giles' toxicology report has not yet been released. Friends and relatives of the women believe that neither would have willingly consumed drugs. Investigators later spoke with the men. They allegedly admitted to taking the women home, but claimed Giles and Gabriela Arzola voluntarily ingested drugs and overdosed. The men claimed they brought the women to the hospitals immediately. What kind of actors were these guys? What type of actors were these guys? The three men have been identified as David Pierce, Brant Osborne, and Mike Angebach. Booking records from the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department show Pierce, 37, was arrested on Wednesday at 11 a.m. and being held on $1 million bond. Osborne, 42, whose Pierce roommate, was detained Wednesday afternoon and has been assigned $100,000 bail. Details about Angebach, 47, was not yet available. The Daily Mail approached Osborne last month outside his apartment. He did not comment except to allege that he was the target of a slander, according to the news outlet. Couldn't tell us Hollywood actors. Neighbors reported seeing the men loading a moving truck in December, according to the Daily Mail. A friend of Giles and Gabriela Zozola told the Daily Mail that Pierce and Ashbeck were obnoxious and crazed at a party on the evening of November 13th. The friend suggested that Pierce and Ashbeck had snuck into the party without being invited. Their energy was off. Usually in this industry, people are very cool and chill. They were respectful. But these men were obnoxious. They took their shirts off and started flailing around like they were on a speed or something. There was a certain energy of craziness, the friend told the Daily Mail. Gabriela Arzola's father, Louis, told KNBC TV that the family was with her once she was hospitalized. They decided to donate her organs. We're all devastated but grateful that God has let us have her with us for almost 27 years and allowed us to come here and say goodbye to her, Gabriela Rivera told the television station. This is sad, man. This is so fucking sad, but this is Hollywood, man. This is Hollywood. Hollywood is not a joke. They don't play games, and they want to do something to you, they will. Simp enforcers, brainwashing. I'm sorry. Simp enforcers, bruh. Disgusting. I'm sorry. Yeah. Mr. Goodbread. Yeah. This is crazy. It really is. I mean, but the thing is, like, why wasn't the husband there? That's what I want to know. Why wasn't the husband there? Just looks weird. Okay. And what type of Hollywood acting was going on here? That's the thing. I hope the family gets justice. But it's just a lot of, what type of woman was she? I mean, you go into a party by yourself without your husband. Like this. All right. I don't know, man. There's a lot of things going on in our era. This year alone is just crazy. That's what I have to say about that. Oh, damn. And here we go. Here we go. I don't know if the husband want her gone. I don't think he would want her gone. But who knows? But I did find something else out, though. Christy Giles, man arrested in deaths of model and friend, also faced 4 sexual assault charges. One of the men who was arrested in the connection to the drug overdose deaths of model Christy Giles and architectural manager Hilda Marcela Cabrera Zalzola has been charged with 4 separate sexual assault cases. That's interesting. That's very interesting. And this is something that, it's going to be interesting when it goes to trial. I hope they take it in the trial. That's the thing. I hope they don't buckle down and try to settle for anything like that. They shouldn't settle. But this is some interesting stuff, man. Professional perv. Yep. Professional perv. But a lot of crazy things goes on at these parties, man. A lot of things go on at these parties that they don't talk about. A lot of stuff. And it's crazy. Insane in the membrane, man. Insane in the membrane. All right. I'll let you know whatever else comes up later.